Hello and welcome to your mat. My name is Chelsea. Today I will be guiding you through a 60-minute slow flow practice. We will use pigeon pose as our inspiration today, so working into some deep external hip rotation and hip extension. It's super rainy and cold where I am, so I really hope that this flow is something juicy that you can come to today to help open up the hips and really help you find some warmth inside your body. We'll come to lay down on our backs today, starting in Shavasana. So take a nice wide stance with the legs. You can allow your palms to flip up beside you, and then relaxing the entire body into the mat and just finding a couple moments to drop into your body to arrive on the four corners of your mat. We'll start by really emptying out the air from the lungs, so sighing the air out, out, out. Find a full inhalation, feel the belly expand. Hold the breath full, and then again, big exhale, pouring the air out, out, out. Two more like that. Inhale deeply, fill the body with breath, with air, with fresh oxygen. Hold. Exhale completely, sigh the air out, out, out. One more time. Inhale fully and deeply, pause and hold. And then when you absolutely need to, it's an exhale out the mouth, empty, sigh. And just allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. But I invite you to keep this emphasis on the exhale, this emptying. And perhaps you accompany this emptying with emptying the mind. So really letting go of any thoughts or repeating patterns, and just allowing yourself the opportunity to be present, to be in your body, to be with your breath, away from the streaming thoughts. And we'll spend 10 breaths here, just really feeling into the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. Feeling into your body, sensations, being here now. And the hips tend to be quite a sticky area within the body for a lot of us. So our breath is really going to be a pivotal tool in today's practice to help us create a sense of softness through the entire body, especially in postures or shapes that feel a little uncomfortable or sticky. And we'll allow this to inform our intention for practice today. And that will be trying to soften into the stickiness, trying to soften into potential discomfort. Sometimes when we resist stickiness or discomfort, the body tenses up and we can make things a little more tricky for ourselves. So trying to cultivate a sense of ease, safety, and calm in a little bit of discomfort and stickiness. We have around 5 more breaths. You're welcome to bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly to help you connect to the body. Really feel the rise and fall of the inhale and exhale. Perhaps you feel your heart beating into your left hand. For your last 3 breaths, I invite you to feel the body resting into the mat, feeling the feedback of the earth and the ground beneath you. Take your final breath. And after that final exhale, I invite you to just find a small moment where you commit to return back to the breath, back to that conscious inhale, that conscious exhale, to return back to your body and to know that you have the power to create this sense of ease, no matter the sensation or environment. We'll slowly start to draw the legs toward one another, interlace the hands, flip the palms, reach them skyward, and then send them back behind you for a full body stretch. Gently draw the knees in towards the chest, squeeze and hug them in. And you can gently sway left to right, giving yourself a little massage of the back body into the mat. Really nice. And then from here, keeping the back grounded, we'll split the knees, take hold of the ankles with the hands, and come to a Supta Baddha Konasana. So Baddha Konasana, laying down on the back, but the legs are floating and we're drawing the heels in toward the groin. And breathing nice and deep, drawing those knees away from you. Really nice. And we'll gently release the feet and place the outer blades of the feet onto the mat. As the outer blades of the feet reach the mat, really allow those knees to sink towards the earth. And then again, focusing on deep, conscious breath into the belly. Perhaps there's already a bit of discomfort in the shape, or you already notice a bit of stickiness. Maybe you choose to bring your hands to the hip creases and give yourself a little massage into the areas you might feel tension or stickiness. And then trying to use your breath as a means of smoothing out that stickiness. So really directing the breath to where you feel the discomfort or stickiness. We'll just be here for 3 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Heel toe your feet to hip width apart. I'm just going to take some pelvic rocks with the pelvis. So tilting the pelvic bowl forward, tilting the pelvic bowl back. And just noticing how this feels, creating a little bit of mobility through the pelvis whilst keeping the hips neutral. So try to keep the hip bones level as you do this. In other words, allowing sunlight to peek through underneath the lower back and then blocking the sunlight out. Really nice. And then we'll come find a nice neutral pelvis. We're going to figure 4 the right ankle over the left knee. So this is already a pigeon variation. You can stay here, otherwise you can float your left foot away from the mat and come to find a floating variation. You can interlace your hands behind the hamstring of the left leg. And then you can stay in stillness, or you can sway left to right and just notice sensation here as you move. Finding a nice external rotation of that right hip and thigh. Feeling a nice stretch into that right glutes. Really nice. We'll release the interlace of the hands. Place the left foot down if you're not already. And from here, we're just going to shift over towards the left. So we're going to ground the right sole of the foot down. And you can bring your left hand to your right ankle if you like, and then really draw that right knee away from you. You can also use the left hand to gently encourage that right leg away from you. And we'll stay and breathe. Really nice. Staying for one more breath in. One more breath out. Gently come back through center, keeping the position of the legs. This time we'll just lower both legs over towards the right. So you can keep the right ankle hooked over the left knee. And then we go into a nice hip extension here of the left leg. So squeeze the left butt cheek and imagine driving that left hip up towards the sky. If you feel any pinching in the left knee, just release that left butt cheek slightly. And if you still feel it, you can take the cross of the right foot off of the left knee. Inhale and exhale. Really nice. We'll come back through center. Then we're just going to interlace the hands around that right knee and hug the right knee in towards the chest. Placing the right foot down, we'll take it over to the other side. So gently cross the left ankle over the right knee for this half pigeon variation. And then again, you can stay here, or you can float your right foot off the mat, interlacing the hands around the right hamstring. As you pull that right knee in, imagine weighing that left knee away from you. And then again, you can stay, or you can sway left to right, and just observing sensation, observing how potentially the stickiness or the discomfort eases or increases as you move or stay. And just bringing your attention back to your breath again. Inhaling and exhaling. And if you're moving, you can settle back into stillness. We'll ground that right foot if you're not there already. And we're just going to slightly shift over towards the right hand side. So we stand that left foot onto the floor. And then again, you can either bring your right hand to the left ankle and then encourage that the left knee away from you. And then if you'd prefer, you can bring that right hand to the left leg and encourage a little more space there. And then just staying and breathing into the interesting sensations in the left hip. Inhale. And exhale. And gently come back through center. Keep the legs as they are. And then this time we'll shift both legs over towards the left. So the left ankle is hooked over that right knee. And then you can stay here. Otherwise, squeeze that right glute to take you into a deeper hip extension of the right hip. Again, if you feel any pinching in that right knee, you'll just uncross the left leg off of the right knee. Inhaling and exhaling. Really nice. We'll come back through center. And then we're going to hug the left knee into the chest. Give it a squeeze. Pull the knee in. Breathe in. And then on the exhale, you can place that left foot down. Really nice. On the inhale, extend the arms back behind you. Breathe in. Take a full stretch and then hug the knees into the chest. Place your hands to the backs of the hamstrings and then kick your feet forward as you come up to a seated position. We're going to cross the knees and the shins, rolling over the legs and coming to find a tabletop position. Really nice. Spread wide through the fingers. Your knees are stacked under your hips. Inhale for cow, lower your belly, lift your heart as you breathe in. Exhale for cat, round the spine, tuck the tailbone. Imagine trying to draw your hip points to your armpits, tuck chin to chest. Let's go for 2 more. Inhaling cow. Exhaling cat. Lovely. Inhaling cow. Exhaling cat. Neutral tabletop we meet. We'll gently take some hip circles. So grounding into that left knee, we're going to take some hip circles with that right hip. So we can start by drawing the knee in towards the chest. We're going to take the knee out towards the side and then back. So we're moving through a beautiful circle, trying to keep the hip level as you do so. Let's go for 5 in this direction. 1 more. And then we'll change direction. So starting by lifting the leg back, externally rotating the hip, taking it out, and then back in, going for 2. We're moving into 5 hip circles. This is 3. Keeping the rest of the body super stable. 4. And 1, 5. Really nice. This time we'll just extend the leg back, pausing there, holding the hip and leg in position, locking the knee, engaging the glute, breathe in. And then on the exhale, squeeze the heel toward the glute, pause, reach the left arm forward, sweep the left arm back and see if you can capture the foot. You don't have to, so we can stay here and reach. Otherwise, capture the top of the foot. Squeeze the heel to the glute first, and then kick the foot back into the hand as you feel a lovely extension into that right hip. Breathe in and out. Gently release the arm and the foot, pause. Left hand to the mat, right knee to the mat. We'll take it over to the other side, starting with some hip circles of the left leg, grounding the right knee into the mat. We'll hover that left knee off, draw the knee into the chest, take the knee out towards the side, and then back. Moving through 5 hip circles in this direction, that's 2, 3, 4, keeping the rest of the body nice and stable, that's 5. And then we change direction, moving back, out, abducting, and in. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Really nice. Finding the extension of that leg. Lock the pelvis and the knee. Pause, engage the glutes. Squeeze the heel toward the butt cheek and then sweep that right arm back. You can pause here and hold. Otherwise, capture the top of the foot, squeeze the heel to the glute first, and then kick the foot into the hand. Feel a nice extension into that left hip and thigh. Breathing in and out. Extend the arm and the leg. Breathe in. Exhale, hand to mat, knee to mat. Full breath in. On the exhale, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up high, downward facing dog. And just taking a couple moments to arrive in your down dog. You can spread wide through the fingers and really push into the hands so you elongate through the arm bones. You can bend your knees slightly, and then from there, imagine lifting your tailbone up and back on the diagonal, and as you do so, pushing the hands into the mat. You can nod your head yes, shake your head no, and then smooth out your breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's take 2 more like that. Inhale and exhale. Deep breath in and out. Really nice. Grounding into that left foot. We'll extend the right leg up towards the sky. Squeeze the heel to the glutes. Lift your knee a little higher and then open that hip up to stack on top of the left. Really nice. So as you're in this open hip position, try to lift the knee further back behind you. So we take ourselves into a deep hip extension. Breathing in. And then on the exhale, stepping the right foot outside the right hand for runner's lunge. Really nice. We're going to lower the back knee down. We're going to come onto the fingertips, melting the pelvis down towards the earth and then lifting the heart. So imagine you were pulling or driving your front thigh bone away from the pelvis, creating some space. And we're really working into that left hip flexor, that left psoas, to create some space across the front line of that left leg. Breathing in here, imagine curling your back knee forward, lifting the heart. Inhale. Exhale, wide-legged half splits, glide back, flexing your right toes back towards the right knee and shin, including the pinky. Inhale, shifting forward, melting pelvis to earth, lifting heart to sky. Exhale, gliding back, flexing toes to shin. One more time, inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, shifting back. Really nice. We'll hold, inhale, and hold, exhale. And gently coming forward, grounding into your left hand. Find a square hip position. Slowly start to squeeze your left heel to your left glutes. Notice as you do so, you back out of the lunge slightly. So really drive your pubic bone forward as you do. Reaching your right arm back behind you. See if you can capture the top of that left foot. Again, if you can't, you can hold yourself there. If you can, capture the foot. Sink the hip a little deeper. You might want to open up that right hip by rolling onto the outer blade of the right foot, moving into external rotation of the right hip and deep hip extension of that left hip as well as the quad. Really nice. Breathe. You can lower your left ear to your left shoulder. Inhale. And exhale, release the foot without slingshotting. Bring your right fingertips inside your right foot. Pick up your back knee, breathe in. Create some space in the hips and the pelvis. Inhale. Exhale, skandasana to the left, to the back of the mat. Spinning your right toes up towards the sky. You can bring your hands to your heart center, drawing that left knee away from you, lifting the chest, breathing into the inner thigh. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. Reaching the arms forward, we're going to sit down onto the floor. Heel toe this left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Really nice. We're going to bring our right hand to the outside of the left thigh, sweeping your left arm along the ear. Breathe in. On the exhale, rotate the left rib cage up towards the sky, opening into the left-hand side of the body. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. Gently lift up, placing this left hand down behind and beside you. You're going to rock up onto that left knee and shin, sweeping the right arm forward and around for stargazer. Open into the chest. Squeeze your left glute so you're driving the hips forward, finding a lovely extension into the hips. Breathe in and stay for the breath out. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, mindfully place the hips back down. Returning to that skandasana shape with or without your hands. Use your hands to get you back there if you need. Returning to runner's lunge at the top of the mat. Breathe in, find lift through the chest. Downward facing dog, hips up high. Inhale here. Exhale here. 2 more times. Inhale here. Exhale here. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Grounding into that right foot. Extend your left leg up towards the sky. Squeeze your heel to your glutes. Take your knee a little higher. And then open up the hip, stacking the left hip on top of the right. Try to take that knee a little further back behind you. Beautiful hip extension. Breathe in. Exhale, runner's lunge. Step your left foot outside your left hand. Lower your back knee down. Come up onto the finger pads. Really nice. Untuck your back toes. Again, we're melting the pelvis down towards the mat. We're lifting the heart, creating some space into the hips. Imagine dragging your back knee forward, breathing in. And then on the exhale, gliding back, half splits, flexing the toes back towards you, including the pinky edge, elongating the chest over the knees. Inhale, shift forward, over the knee rather, breathe in. Exhale, glide back. Really nice. Inhale, shifting forward, heart to sky, hips to earth, breathe in. Exhale, glide back, and we'll hold, breathing in and breathing out. Shifting forward to our rooted lunge, we're going to ground our right hand down. Keep your hips nice and square. I'm going to squeeze the right heel to the right glutes. Notice how you back out of the lunge slightly, so deliberately melt your hips a little closer towards the earth. Then reach back with your left hand. If you can't capture, you're going to keep reaching. Otherwise, capture the top of the foot and then melt your hips a little closer towards the earth. If you feel like this happens naturally, external rotation of the front hip and thigh, and you rolling onto the outer blade of the left foot, allow it to happen. It might give you a little bit of deeper range. And we'll stay and hold. Breathing in and breathing out. Lovely. Release the foot without slingshotting. Bring your left hand inside the left foot. Pick your back knee up. Breathe in. Exhale, Skandasana to the right. Over that right leg, melt your hips nice and low. Hands come to heart center. Flexing those left toes up towards the sky. Drawing the right knee away from you with the right tricep and elbow resisting into the inner thigh. Inhale. And exhale, gently lowering your sitting bones down to the mat. Really nice. We'll heel toe that right foot to the inner left thigh. We're going to bring the left hand to the outside of the right thigh and then reach your right arm along the ear. Quite nice for you to see from this side. There's a spiraling of the right rib cage up towards the sky, so don't worry too much about reaching for the toes. Rather find the stacking of right shoulder on top of the left. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in and out. Lovely. Rise up. Place your right hand behind and beside you, rocking up onto that right knee and shin. Stargazer, sweeping your left arm along the ear, driving your hips and pelvis forward. Inhale here. Exhale. Mindfully coming back to seated. Finding Skandasana, legs, lifting yourself back up, hands or no hands. We'll move back to runner's lunge at the top of the mat. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up high. Breathe out. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Final time, full breath in. Empty all the air out, out, out. Exhale. Rise up high onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees and gaze forward. We are either stepping one foot at a time or hopping to Malasana, both feet outside the hands. Hands come to heart center. We'll draw the knees apart. Find a nice tall spine. Breathe in. And stay for the breath out. Gently turning your toes in and your heels out. Finding a mini Prasarita at the top of the mat. We'll interlace the hands at the base of the spine. Draw the knuckles overhead. Tuck chin to chest. And send your weight into the balls of the feet. Really nice. Release the arms. Heel toe your feet to hip width apart. Find a halfway lift. Inhale. And a forward fold. Exhale. Bend your knees generously and roll up to standing. Stacking one vertebra at a time. Find a juicy shoulder loop up, back, and down when you get to the top. Really nice. Bending the knees. Utkatasana chair pose. Breathing in. On the exhale, bring your hands to your heart center and figure four your left ankle over your right knee and shin. Another pigeon variation. Hands to heart center, broad across the collarbones, sending your hips back as if you were sitting back into an imaginary chair. Beautiful external rotation of the hip and the thigh. Breathing in and breathing out. interlace your hands. Place the interlaced hands around the left knee. Hug the left knee into the chest. Bend your right knee so you extend into that right hip. Breathe in. Exhale, aeroplane. Extend the arms behind you. Extend your left leg behind you, locking the knee and the pelvis. Breathe in and out. Mindfully step back, warrior one. So in pigeon, our hips are nice and square, so we're going to use the square hipped posture of drawing the right hip back, drawing the outer left hip forward, arms reach up, breathing in. Exhale, interlace hands behind us, puff the chest on the in-breath. Exhale, humble warrior, fold inside that right leg. Draw the right hip crease back, draw the knuckles overhead. Lovely, 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale. Place your left hand inside your right foot. Spin your back heel up. Easy twist, right arm rises all the way up and then reach it back. Breathe in. On the exhale, sweep the arm forward. Find a skandasana to the back of the mat, sending your hips nice and low. This time we'll place our left fingertips off the edge of the mat, diagonal from those left toes, and then rotate the right arm up towards the sky. Breathe in and out. Lovely. Runner's lunge, top of the mat. Breathe in. Exhale, Malasana, left foot steps outside, left hand. Hands come to heart center, lift the chest, breathe in. It's a mini Prasarita at the top of the mat. Interlace hands, weights in the balls of the feet, draw the knuckles overhead. Release your hands, heel toe your feet to hip width apart, find a halfway lift, breathe in. And a forward fold, breathe out. Bend your knees generously and we roll up to standing where we find a juicy shoulder loop, up, back and down. Really nice. Utkatasana, chair pose, bending the knees, sitting back into your imaginary chair, and this time hands come to heart center, we figure 4, right ankle over the left thigh. Returning to our pigeon variation, broad across the chest, sitting those sitting bones back into an imaginary chair. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll interlace the hands, hug that right knee in towards the chest. Bend your left knee so you take it into a hip extension, breathe in. Exhale, aeroplane, extend your left leg back behind you, lock the knee and the hip, squeeze the shoulder blades together, breathe in, and breathe out. Warrior one, mindfully step back, hips are square, drawing the left hip crease back, rolling the outer right hip forward, arms along the ears, breathe in. Exhale, interlace hands behind you, puff the chest, inhale. Humble warrior, exhale, fold that left shoulder inside the left knee, tuck chin to chest. 3 breaths. Two more breaths, inhale and exhale. One more breath, inhale here And exhale, right hand inside, left foot. Spin your left heel up towards the sky. Reach left arm forward, up and back. Breathe in. Exhale, Skandasana to the back of the mat, turning those right toes out, sitting your pelvis nice and low. Hands come to heart center. Right fingertips off the diagonal of the right toes. Lift the left arm to sky. Breathe in. And stay for the breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, runner's lunge, top of the mat. Breathing in here. Malasana is the breath out. Hands come to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, it's a mini Prasarita for the final time at the top of the mat. Interlace the hands, draw the knuckles overhead, tuck chin to chest. Lovely. This time release the hands, place your left fingertips down towards the mat. Twist your right arm up towards the sky. You can bend your left knee if you like, straighten your right leg. And gently change. Right fingertips to mat, left arm to sky. Straightening left leg, bending right knee, breathe in. Exhale, hands come down, heel toe your feet to touch. Find a halfway lift, breathe in. Plant the palms, step back to high plank. Pause and hold in your plank. Lower your knees, untuck your toes, lower all the way to your belly, elbows graze your ribs. Fingertips and palms flip to face down to the mat. Tuck your chin into your chest, lift the heart space, ground into the fingernails, lift the chest, firm your toenails down, breathe in. If you would like to, squeeze your heels to your glutes. If you want more, capture the top of the feet. Kick your feet into your hands, lift your chest, breathe in and out. One more time, in and out. Gently release hands from feet. Journey back to child's pose. Knees go wide, toes to touch. Hips to heels, full breath in, full breath out. Two more like that, full breath in, full breath out. One more time, inhale and exhale. And drawing our mind's eye back to our intention of softening into the stickiness, softening into discomfort, and creating a sense of ease within, no matter the sensation or our environment. Shifting forward to a tabletop, tuck the toes under. Downward facing dog, hips up high. Full inhale. Full exhale. Softening the features of the face, softening the belly, softening the jaw. Gently bending the knees, gazing forward, bringing your right shin through, setting up for half pigeon. So we're going to slide that left knee slightly further back behind us. A lot of the time we hear that front shin has to be parallel to the top of the mat. For a lot of us, that's unrealistic. So finding a comfortable position for your shin. More important than your shin being square to the top of the mat is your hips being square. So try to find a nice square hip. If you need to place a prop under the right sit bone, feel free to. And then from here, we're going to keep our fingertips grounded for our first little part. We're going to breathe in deeply. We're going to breathe out deeply. And we're going to engage our left glute, so we're quite active here. Then you can choose to stay, otherwise you can come down to your forearms. And wherever you've chosen to be, I'd like you to be quite active, and I'll give you a chance to be passive and soften into it. So almost as if your inner thighs were zipping together and holding you in this shape. Feel what that feels like. Really nice. So you can stay on your hands, you can stay on your forearms and be active. Otherwise, you can move with me. I'm going to move into 3 lifts. So I'll either come down to, I'd say, just to hover above the mat. I'm going to support myself with my fingertips to start. And then we're going to lift up. There's very little weight in my fingertips. If you want to do this without your hands, you can as well, lowering and lifting, but you can keep a little bit of weight in your fingertips and really use the strength of your glutes to lift you. Really nice. Let's just go for one more lift together, lower and lift. Lovely. Now find a breath in. And now we're going to fully and passively soften into the shape. So sinking, melting into the discomfort, melting into the stickiness. Full surrender, using your breath in those areas of stickiness to smooth out any tension. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Really nice. We're going to roll to the outer right hip, sweeping the left leg around. I'm going to come to stack the left shin on top of the right for fire log pose. So you can place a block underneath or between the knee and the foot if you need. Find length through the chest as you breathe in. And you can stay here, otherwise you can just creep forward slightly and fold over the legs. Again, bringing attention and awareness back to the breath. One more inhale. One more exhale. Lovely. We're going to bring that left knee to meet the right sole of the foot. And we're going to slowly come down to our forearms. So as we're in this shape, we're going to kick the left foot into the mat, feeling a deep stretch into the left hip flexor, psoas, and quad. Breathing in and breathing out. Really nice, and lifting yourself back up. Okay, you are welcome to stay. Otherwise, we're going to try and come into our mermaid variation. So coming into the original pigeon position that we showed up in, you're going to squeeze your heel to your glute. So quite a nice starting position is to be able to find deep flexion, or deep extension rather, into that left hip. So you feel an opening. If you can get into the shape, you can stay here for a variation of mermaid. Otherwise, if you want more, you're going to hook the toes into the crook of the elbow. You're going to lift the arm up, finding stability in the legs and seeing if you can touch your fingertips behind you. Melting that left thigh towards the mat. Really nice. And then gently come out of it, releasing the foot, placing your hands down, tucking your toes, stepping back to downward facing dog. Taking a couple moments here to pedal out the legs. Some big shapes, slowing down your breath. Inhale and exhale. Lovely, full breath in, full breath out. We'll gently glide that left shin forward, sliding your right knee back, setting up for half pigeon. Again, starting with our nice active shape. So keeping the hips square, finding a comfortable position for the shin, engaging that right glute and lifting the chest, breathing in. Option to stay on the hands or option to come to the forearms. Scissoring or drawing the inner thighs toward one another. Staying nice and active in the legs. And then again, you can stay and hold actively or bring your finger pads on either side of you, hovering your chest just off the mat. But you know how much weight is in your finger pads, so try to keep as little as possible. Use your glutes and the strength of the inner thighs to lift the chest, and then gently lower. And we're going for 3. And again, if you'd like to do it without the hands, you can do so hovering and lifting. But using your fingertips if you need, we'll go for 1 more lift. Really nice breathing in. And then on the exhale, we'll passively surrender into the shape. Using your breath to smooth out any areas of stickiness and fully melting into discomfort. Really nice inhale and exhale. Lovely. Walking your hands back towards your front shin, rolling to the outer left hip, sweeping your right leg around, and we'll come to stack the right leg on top of the left. Again, if you need a block between the knee and the foot, you're welcome to take it. Lift the chest. You can stay or shift forward slightly. Stay and breathe. Juicy sensations into the hips. Inhale and exhale. Lovely, gently lifting the chest, internally rotating that right leg. So we bring the right knee into the left sole of the foot, and we're going to slowly shift back onto our forearms. You can stay on your hands if you need. And then imagine lifting that right glute off the mat, finding a deep stretch into that right hip flexor, that right hamstring. Kicking the foot into the mat. Lovely. 1 more breath in and out. Padding yourself back up. Really nice. And we'll return to pigeon as our starting position with an option to move into mermaid. So mermaid includes the quad extension. So you're going to just start by stretching into that front quad. And then again, if you would like to, you'll bring the top of the foot into the crook of the elbow and then touch or connect your fingertips behind your head, lifting through the chest. Staying and breathing, really squaring off the hip. And you can release at any stage, slowly coming out of it, tucking your back toes under. Lifting your hips up high for downward facing dog. Full inhale. Full exhale. And gently lowering your knees, finding embryo's pose, sweeping your hands back towards your feet. folding over the legs, a moment of introspection, a moment of bowing in. And then lifting up, shifting off of your heels, extending your legs out in front of you. We'll actually keep the legs bent, rather, ground the soles of the feet down, and we'll slowly roll down vertebra by vertebra. Let's cross the right knee over the left. Find Gomukhasana legs to really squeeze the inner thighs together. Separate the feet equidistant, just sealing off those hips. Breathing in and breathing out. And change out the legs, crossing over the left leg over the right. Squeezing the inner thighs together, taking the feet equidistant apart. Inhale and exhale. And gently release. Take the legs and the arms up towards the sky for Viparita Karani. Rolling into the wrists and the ankles. Taking a shaking of the limbs. Full breath in. Exhale, hugging yourself into a tiny little ball. And extending the legs and the limbs for Shavasana. Returning to the same shape we started with. Toes out, heels in, palms face up beside you. Exhale all the air out of the mouth. Empty, release. Sigh the air out, out, out. Inhale fully and deeply, hold the breath full. Exhale completely, let it go. Two more like that. Inhale here. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Inhale here. Exhale, let it go. I invite you to spend the next 10 breaths being in your body, connected to sensation and your breath, and really allowing yourself to both explore and be with this energy that you've created over the last hour, to be in the space that you've created, to be without all the stickiness that you moved through the last 60 minutes. I will leave you in Shavasana. Thank you so much for showing up, for choosing to move through the discomfort. So much gratitude from me to all of you, and I look forward to moving with you soon. Thank you.